Hey everyone, and welcome to another Explainer. Today we're actually stepping way back in time for an absolutely epic true story. We are talking high-stakes adventure, extreme danger, and what it really takes to follow Jesus when the path gets, well, incredibly rocky. We're going to look at the life of one of history's most famous figures and see how his wild journey can actually inspire literally everything we do today.
But first, I want you to think for a second. What is the hardest thing you've ever had to do? Seriously, think about it. Maybe it was standing up for a friend when it wasn't exactly popular. Or maybe giving up a favorite comfort because you just knew it was the right thing to do. Doing hard things is, well, it's tough. Giving up our own comfort for something bigger is probably one of the most challenging things any of us will ever face. Well, our hero today had to make a massive, life-changing choice about giving up basically everything comfortable in his entire world.
Okay, let's dive right into this with part 1, Paul's really big choice.
So before he was the Apostle Paul, this guy lived a very different life. He had it all. He had wealth, popularity, and VIP status as a super strict religious leader. People really looked up to him. But he made a massive choice. He actually walked away from all that wealth and honor to follow Jesus. He totally traded in his comfortable, fancy life for a rugged path where he literally had nothing but his faith. He linked his destiny with a group of people that the rest of society basically looked at as the lowest of the low. For the sake of Jesus Christ, Paul gave up everything. And it wasn't some accident, It was a deliberate choice to trade his earthly popularity for something far, far greater.
Which brings us to part 2, shipwrecks, robbers, and danger.
Guys, if you made a movie about Paul's new life, it would absolutely be the most intense action movie of the year. Because following Jesus meant stepping into constant, non-stop danger. Just look at this list. He was beaten. He was stoned. He was literally shipwrecked in the middle of the raging sea. Hunted by robbers on the road, left freezing in the cold, and he was just exhausted all the time. He faced danger by land, by sea, in the city, out in the wild wilderness. There was just no comfortable break, no easy day off.
And perhaps the absolute most chilling moment of all was this, standing right before the bloodthirsty Nero, who was one of the most terrifying Roman emperors in all of history. And in that terrifying moment, no one stood with him. Nobody. Paul was completely, utterly alone, facing the ultimate earthly power.
So how did he handle all that? Let's look at part 3, Paul's secret to joy.
So here is the big mystery, right? How does a guy who gets shipwrecked, beaten up, and hunted by robbers manage to stay profoundly happy? Listen to his own words from the Bible. He says, "I am exceeding joyful in all our tribulation." Wait, what? That means he was completely full of joy even when literally everything was going wrong. It's like this triumphant battle cry. He didn't waste his time complaining about how unfair his hard life was. He was looking right through the storm.
And this brilliantly illustrates his deepest secret. He stopped looking at himself and pointed all of his attention toward Jesus. It's a crazy idea when you first hear it, right? He did not live to make himself happy, and yet he was incredibly happy. By making his life all about Jesus and helping other people, Paul found this amazing secret weapon against sadness. True, lasting joy didn't come from an easy, comfortable life. It came from a completely unshakable focus.
Now let's move to part 4, the crown of righteousness.
You see, this focus carried Paul all the way to the very end of his life. Even when he knew he was going to die for his faith, he wasn't looking back with any regret. He exclaimed, "I have fought a good fight, I have finished my course, I have kept the faith." He knew he had given absolutely everything, and he was looking forward to heaven with deep satisfaction. That hope for the immortal future was the grand, inspiring motive of his entire adventure. And because of that unshakable faith, he knew exactly what was waiting for him. A crown of righteousness. Now, okay, I know that's a pretty big theological phrase, but just think of it as the ultimate eternal trophy. It's a special reward saved up by the Lord, who Paul calls the righteous judge. Unlike earthly honors that just kind of fade away, the ones he left behind in his old life, this crown is permanent, it's perfect, and it's given directly by God.
But get this, even at the very end, this noble man of faith wasn't just thinking about himself. He completely forgot about himself and added that this crown is not to me only, but unto all them also that love his appearing. He wants us to know that this eternal trophy isn't just for famous apostles who survive crazy shipwrecks. It's a promise waiting for absolutely everyone who loves Jesus.
Let's move to and see how this builds into our final section, part 5, living for God's glory.
Now, we might not be facing Roman emperors or getting shipwrecked on our way to school, but you can absolutely be an adventurer for God right where you are today. So the crucial point is really these 3 steps. Step 1, call attention from yourself to Jesus. Just like Paul, try not to just dwell on your own comfort. Step 2, keep the faith when it gets tough. Doing the right thing is hard, for sure, but remember Paul's joy right in the middle of the storm. And step 3, live entirely for God's glory.
This brings us to Paul's ultimate mission statement. It's the defining inspiration for what every true Christian should be. For me to live is Christ. That was the compass for his entire life. Literally everything he did, every danger he faced, every sacrifice he made was filtered through this one powerful, unstoppable truth.
Paul willingly gave up a life of wealth. He survived unbelievable danger, and he faced his end with absolute joy, all for a crown of righteousness that is waiting for us too. The trail has already been blazed. The adventure is out there waiting. Paul gave up everything for his crown. So, what will you do for yours today? Keep learning, keep seeking, and I'll see you in the next explainer.